Making something out of nothing is what drew Amy Denman to the world of ceramics while studying at Keystone College.
I started art education because I've always been surrounded by the arts. Growing up on a farm, we created something out of nothing. So when I took my first pottery class, and I was like, I could continue to create something out of nothing. I could play with mud all day. This is fabulous.
Now Amy is the studio technician in the college's ceramics department and teaches community classes in both Wyoming and Luzerne counties, in addition to running her own ceramic business. Pieces like this are started from dust.
We mix different kinds of powders together to create our raw clay.
Send it through the mixer and push it out. Then it's time to wedge the clay by rolling and pounding it to get all of the air out.
Because with any air bubbles in the kiln, your piece will explode.
The kiln is an oven that these projects are fired in at temperatures well above 1,500 degrees. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. We need to first create something worth firing, whether it's a flat piece made by hand or something more complex made on the wheel.
Oh, I totally expected it to go the other direction.
Where a foot pedal is used to spin your clay as you add water.
You want it slimy, not sticky. You see?
And try to use your hands and add even pressure to create something beautiful? It's not always as easy as it looks. Luckily, Amy is a pottery teacher with plenty of patience. With a lot of practice, you might get pieces that look like this, that are ready for the next step.
So you let it get completely bone dry, which then we send it through the kiln, which is the first firing, which is called a bisque fire.
At 1,800 degrees. After that, pieces come out like this. Not done yet. Now the possibilities are endless before the final firing. You can paint the piece with glaze, use a decal and make it your own, or do something experimental with even more heat, like something called a raku firing, where pieces painted with a special glaze are taken out of the kiln while they are still 1,800 degrees and put into a metal can with combustible materials to create a chemical reduction, and eventually a one-of-a-kind work of art, with a little bit of science in there too.
A lot of times people will see it, they'll see it on Facebook or they'll see it on Instagram or TikTok and find it fascinating, but to see it in person, it's a totally different experience.
If you want to see some of this work in action, you can find Amy this weekend at the Rattlesnake Roundup in Noxon doing live demonstrations. Chelsea Strube, Newswatch 16, Wyoming County.